Gigantamax Pikachu will be making its Pokemon GO debut in Max Battles this weekend. We're going to show you how you can do 5 or 6 Gmax Pikachus spending 0 money. We're then going to show you the best possible counter guide for Gmax Pikachu because you cannot solo it. And finally, we're going to show you how much Stardust and XP you can really get on a day like this because it is absolutely broken. This is Gigantamax Pikachu Raid Day with Go With Us. Let's get time and dates out of the way. Guys, Gigantamax Pikachu will be having its own Max Battle Day on Saturday, the 28th of March from 2 to 5 p.m. local time, so only a 3-hour time frame. Gmax Pikachu will be making its debut in 6-star Max Battles, which are going to require 800 Max Particles to compete in, but if you do fail the raid, you will get those Max Particles back to try again. Every Gmax Pikachu you catch from one of these Max Battles will not be able to evolve into Raichu, because Raichu does not have its own Gigantamax form. However, you can potentially use these Pikachu for the future megas that will be coming to the game at some point. Shiny Gigantamax Pikachu will have a chance of appearing. I don't think the shiny rate is 1 in 20. I think it's more towards 1 in 64, so good luck if you do get it. On to the good stuff. How do I do free Gigantamax Pikachu raids without spending any money? Let's first look at these bonuses. The max particle collection limit will be increased to 1600. All power spots will be hosting Gmax battles, and they are going to refresh every half an hour, and additional power spots will be active to host more Gigantamax Pikachus. We're going to get 8 times max particles from collecting them from power spots. We're going to get up to 3 special trades for the day. The remote raid limit will be increased from 10 to 20, and only from midnight on the 28th until 5 p.m. that day, which is the end of the event, is going to be 2 times max particles from exploring, as well as quarter adventuring distance to receive max particles. So from midnight to 5 p.m., all that means is that you will be able to get 600 max particles for only walking 500 meters. With these bonuses in mind, how do I get these free raids? Let's break this down into steps. Step number 1, there is a soft cap of 1500 max particles, but on the day before, I want you guys to get as close to that soft cap as possible. For example, 1400 out of the 1500, and then I want you to collect 300 max particles after walking, so you can then get around 1700 max particles to start the day on. Already, for step 1, that is 2 free max battles free because it's 800 each. Step number 2, once you've completed your first Gmax battles, I then want you to walk 500 meters to collect 600 max particles. That would then leave you on about 700. I then want you to collect another 800 from the power spot and then another 800. That should take you to around the 2400 mark, which is pretty much going to get you another 3 free Gigantamax Pikachu raids. Unfortunately for this event, usually they would have added a timed research throughout the week to reward you with max particles, which you could then only collect on the day, which would grant you another 2 free Gmax raids. Unfortunately though, they have taken away that timed research for this event. But then if you wanted to add one more, you could go through Campfire and check into a community meetup, which would then reward you with another timed research, which is going to reward you 5 Great Balls, 2000 XP, I believe, but the final reward is going to be another 800 max particles, which would allow you to complete 1 more Gmax Pikachu raid for absolutely free. This is going to be your best way to complete free Gmax Pikachu raids. That is how you are able to do 5 or 6 free Gigantamax Pikachu raids, but can you solo this Pokemon? You will not be able to solo it simply because they put on a difficulty multiplier, which is pretty much going to make it impossible to solo. But now, how do we take down Gigantamax Pikachu the quickest and easiest way possible? We have to look at its weaknesses. It is only weak to one type, which is going to be ground, which completely kind of shifts our strategy because unfortunately, there is no attacker or max attacker in the game right now that is a Gigantamax ground type, so we have to adjust accordingly. These Pokemon are going to be your best attackers when taking down Pikachu. Dynamax Excadrill is going to be number 1 with Mud Slap and Max Quake, Eternatus with Poison Jab, Gigantamax Inteleon with Gmax Hydro Snipe, Gmax Gengar with any fast move, which is going to be Gmax Terror, and Dmax Kingler with Mud Shot is going to be able to put out a Max Quake as well. But what are going to be your best tanking Pokemon? Undoubtedly, Blissey is going to be number 1 with Pound, which is a half a second fast move, so it charges the Dynamax meter a lot quicker. Dynamax Latias could also be used with Dragon Breath, Dynamax Raikou with Thunder Shock. You could definitely use Crown Shield Zamazenta with Metal Claw, and you could potentially use Dmax Excadrill again with Mud Shot. Undoubtedly, your best strategy here is to go in with 2 tanks. I would suggest going in with maybe 2 Blisseys with Pound so you can charge that Dynamax meter a lot quicker, and as soon as that Dynamax phase comes around, I want you to switch into your attacker, which is definitely going to be that Dynamax Excadrill. Please, there's been many opportunities to get Excadrill on your teams with Max Mondays, and it has been featured heavily in Max Battles up until this point. that is going to be undoubtedly your best attacker. If we look at Gigantamax Meowth Raid Day, you weren't even close to soloing this Pokemon. I would strongly recommend going in with at least 6 to 8 trainers at the very least to try and take this thing down. Once you get an encounter with Pikachu, that 100% IV is going to be 536 CP because it will be at level 20 coming from these max battles. We know what Pokemon we want to use, but how do we make this raid even easier? First off, you could use an item in the game called a Max Mushroom. A Max Mushroom is pretty much going to double your damage in these max raids for 30 minutes at a time, and that's going to be a huge multiplier. The other way to do more damage is that if you are raiding with a best friend, that damage multiplier is going to be increased even more. We would then strongly look at the following adventure effects, which is going to be Behemoth Blade or Behemoth Bash on Crown Sword Zacian or Crown Shield Zamazenta respectively. For Behemoth Blade on Zacian's side, that's going to increase your attack in max battles by about 5%, and for Behemoth Bash for Zamazenta, that's going to increase your defense and raids by about 5% as well. But probably the better one to use on this day is going to be Eternatus's Dynamax Cannon, which raises every single max move by 1 level. So if your max moves are already maxed out at level 3, it will go to a level 4 power, which is going to make a huge difference in terms of damage output. The other thing you can do is dodge targeted attacks. There are 2 separate types in these Gmax battles, but a targeted attack is pretty much on your certain Pokemon. The timing of when you dodge this attack should pretty much come after the second Spidey sense is flashed. After that second Spidey sense flash, I want you to swipe left or right, and that should be able to get you a more successful dodge. Of course, please remember to hit those Dynamax orbs as well so you can charge the Dmax meter as quick as possible. Please remember as well, you need to try and complete a Gmax Pikachu raid in the space of 6 minutes. If the 6 minutes timer is reached, this Pokemon will become enraged and it will literally just start one-shotting you. You might as well restart the raid, rethink your strategy, and go again. That is going to be your best strategy. But what are the resources coming from this event? Because they are, to be honest, if you take advantage, it could potentially be broken. But this is in relation to the ticket as well. If you guys want to upgrade your Gmax Pikachu Raid Day experience for a total cost of $5, you will get a timed research, which is going to award you 1 max mushroom, 25,000 XP, as well as 6,400 max particles. But you will also get 2 times XP for every single Gmax battle you complete. What does that mean? The rewards breakdown for Gmax battles are as follows. Every single Gmax battle you complete, you get about 25,000 XP as well as 25,000 Stardust. If we look at the XP side of things very quickly, on a lucky egg, which is going to double your XP, you're going to take this to 50,000. If you purchase the ticket, you're going to take this to 100,000. On the Stardust side of things, a normal Gmax battle, you're going to get 25,000 Stardust. On a star piece, you're going to be getting 37,500 Stardust. At that final end screen for 200 Pokecoins, you can pretty much double both of these numbers again to get you 75,000 Stardust off 1 Gmax battle and 200,000 XP off 1 Gigantamax Pikachu Raid. Guys, that is absolutely insane, especially if you bought the ticket. And because we've just shown you how to do 5 or 6 of these for free without buying the ticket, you could potentially still get hundreds of thousands of XP as well as hundreds of thousands of Stardust as well. This is a huge day. Consider buying the ticket and consider multiplying the rewards, because in a 3-hour time frame, I don't think you're going to see something as powerful as this. If you are considering buying this ticket, please consider getting it through the web store, because every single time you purchase things through the web store, you will be able to progress with Go points on that web store track to eventually claim some really good premium items. But more than that, if you bought this ticket for this event, you're going to get 1 additional premium pass just as a bonus from getting it from the web store. The other thing I want to mention is that, remember, the remote raid limit is going to be increased to 20, but not just for Gmax Pikachu, which means things like regieleki and 5-star raids or megahoundoom and mega raids. You could use your passes on those specific Pokemon if you weren't so keen on doing more Gmax Pikachu raids from a remote point of view. The other quick thing to mention here is actually going to be an evolution of a certain Pokemon, which is going to be Farfetch'd going into Surfetch'd. In order to trigger this evolution, you need to throw 10 excellent throws, and on a Gmax battle day, because excellent throws are very easy to hit, this could be a great opportunity to try and trigger that evolution if you haven't got it for the decks yet. A couple other things as well, guys. At level 77, you need to complete 100 max battles, which is not the easiest thing to do, and it can be a tedious task. On a day like this, and completing those 5 or 6 free raids, this could be a good way to try and chip away at that. Also, a big bonus that we haven't touched on yet is that you can do 3 special trades on this day, which I feel like I'm the one content creator in the Pokemon Go space that really pushes trading because I think it's so important. Again, we're just going to leave some results on screen that we have got over time from trading Pokemon. We've got Shundos, we've got Schlundos, we've got Lucky Hundos, we've even got Hundos from Pokemon just from a regular trade that didn't even go lucky. And guys, we're not just talking one or two. It's been pretty frequent over time because we try and trade as much as possible, specifically with a best friend. Because remember, when you trade with a best friend, the base floor of trading is going to be 555. So your chances at getting that hundo just increase with how many trades you do over time. Please remember to do those 3 special trades and try and wait for the next week Friday to do those 3 special trades, because during the season there is an increased chance on Fridays where these Pokemon can potentially go lucky. When they do, you get a 1 in 64 chance of that Pokemon being a hundo. Please remember to trade. And the last tip here is going to be surrounding candy gains. Guys, please remember Pikachu is a pure electric type Pokemon, so in the background you won't be battling with this Pokemon, but have a mega level 3 electric type Pokemon out, something like a Mega Ampharos, potentially a Primal Kyogre, because it does hit that electric typing when it comes to candy and XL candy. You could use Mega Manectric. Try and have these Pokemon at mega level 3 so you can get as much candy and XL candy for Pikachu if you don't have it already, because remember, Pikachu going into Raichu will eventually have that mega coming to the game at some point, and Mega Raichu Y is going to be a top electric type attacker, and you could potentially use this Dynamax Pikachu if it is a hundo to become your mega as well. Remember, a good chance of getting a hundo from these Gmax raids because the base floor is 10-10-10. So if you did get very lucky, you got a Gmax Pikachu that is a hundo, you could potentially use that for a Mega Raichu Y2. And the last thing we're going to mention here is that please remember to leave certain Pokemon at the power spots as well. Something like a Cubfu you need to maybe get candy for, leave it, because you can potentially get up to 5 candy when leaving Pokemon at a power spot for a certain time. If you guys want to see everything going on in Pokemon Go this week, please check out our end screen in this video above me right now. This is going to detail 1 or 2 things you may have missed, and every week we release an episode every Sunday, and you guys are loving that video. Guys, please remember to smash that like and subscribe button. A lot of our viewers are not actually subscribed. We would really appreciate smashing that subscribe button so we can bring you all the content. We can only grow with you guys, and please smash that hype button as well so as many people can see this, because we want to help the community as much as possible. Love you guys. Go with us, and we'll catch you in the next one, baby. Shoo.